How's it going, guys? It's none other crew here again with another video, and today we'll be watching and we'll be reviewing Halloween Kills. And today I won't be on my own. We will be having our featured guy, our favorite dude, Talos. How you doing?
What's up? What's up? Obviously, we've made Liam do the intro, even though we can never see what he looks like. But yes, Halloween Kills. Ooh, okay. So obviously, backstory real quick before we get the review. We only watched, like me personally, I only watched a few of the Halloween movies, and of course, our buddy Liam hasn't seen any of them. So this is the first Halloween movie he has, and we have a lot to talk about. We will be jumping right into spoilers. We're not really going to be doing like any story beats or any breakdowns of that, but we will be talking about some of the key moments that we enjoyed about the movie, of course. But so, forewarned, spoilers. It's definitely a lot of spoilers. But yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. Now you have to kind of like rate it in almost a huge curve. If you're going to watch this movie as like a serious horror flick and jump scares and like that, you'll probably be very, very disappointed. But if you're going into this movie with very, 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 very low expectations and just going with the humor and just laughing out, which is exactly what me and Liam did, then you might actually enjoy it. Do you agree or not?
I absolutely agree with you, Talos. The thing is, I'm not really one to suspend my disbelief, so I kind of get more out of something if I can find the funny satire side to it. This kind of hit me really well off the bat, you know, if you're looking at it from a little satirical view kind of style, because there's plenty. Absolutely plenty to sink your teeth into that can make you chuckle.
Yes, let's go right into it right now. So those who are familiar with the Michael Myers movies are familiar with like the typical story. In his particular story, he escapes from prison. There's two people that escape from prison, and one of the prisoners, he kind of like is almost like a scapegoat in this movie. Tommy, one of the protagonists of the movie, pretty much like got a bunch of the villagers, not villagers, a bunch of the town into essentially like, you know, evil dies tonight, you know, like rallying the troops, and he was one of the casualties in this because of that mob mentality.
Yeah, the evil crowd mentality. It really is just one of those scenarios that it's actually certainly a real thing, but this scenario, how it's used, is just completely unbelievable. Yeah, even the blind.
Yeah. Speaking of Leading the Blind, like there's a couple of scenes in the hospital where like one guy was completely like his band-aids all around his eyes, so he can't even see what's happening, but he's like following the sheep in this, you know, evil dies tonight, and just following evil dies tonight. And there's even one like, I don't know, like patient, I guess, like he was just kind of giggling the entire time, like clapping and giggling as he's walking up the stairs. I was like, what is happening in this movie?
It makes absolutely no sense, you're right, as the whole mob, everyone else is playing an angry mob person, but you got this one guy that just completely flips the script, and he's got a cheesy grin on his face, and he's going, woo!
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Yeah, I completely agree. Like this movie was over the top. Like honestly, the leading role character is of course Michael Myers. Like he definitely, like the fact that everyone in this movie was so stupid. Like I couldn't wait for him to die. Like I felt like a lot of the characters for this movie was I really enjoyed them. Like the two characters I should say that really like drew me was Big John and Little John. Like I love their humor, their comedic timing. Like honestly I don't even know it was supposed to be funny, but I was laughing the entire time. Like when Little John was checking the back door, it's like, oh, nobody's there, and then they went to check the front door, and like Big John was like, oh, I guess they're at the front door now. And then Big John was like, did you lock the back door? And it was like, no. They turned around, of course, Michael Myers was there. And what's kind of interesting is that Little John and Big John was in the house that he grew up in, Michael Myers. And that's the whole reason for this is he escaped prison, killed off some people on the way, and then went back to where it all started, back to his house. And that was the whole premise, I guess you can say, of him going back to his house to see his reflection on the mirror again. Of like after he killed his sister. Let's talk to some of the deaths here. Liam, you go first.
One of the first ones that was notable to me was very early on. Someone is just on the floor. They've been attacked, but this teenage boy sees him over the fence and is yelling, "Are you all right?"
Yes. Twice.
And then he then proceeds to jump the fence, go on over, and says, "I'll get help." And then just bellows out at the top of his voice. I can understand some of the kids in films can be displayed to be can be a bit silly, but even the adults in this are just as that level of stupid.
I think what's her name? Diva something? Diva
Taylor.
Yeah, Diva Taylor. Like I like their character role here too as well. She was just playing with her drone, right? She was like, "Oh, you're playing a drone," and then they heard a noise or something. They went to check, and the guy was like call the freaking cops. Like, he didn't say freaking, of course, but call the cops. And she was like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And then that's when Michael Myers reached in, killed him off like that, and then like he went inside. She's just in the corner there. Maybe I saw it wrong, but it looked like she locked the door instead of unlocking the door and then trying to go out. I don't know what was happening there, but she was like in complete disarray of what to do and what properly to do. And then Michael Myers slowly reached out and grabbed one of the light switches, pulled it out, broke it, and then stabbed it through the throat with it. It was like, God damn. But what made it even more funnier, probably wasn't meant to be funny, but it was funny. Like the husband or whatever, like was on the table, and he was reaching. Michael Myers was reaching through like the kitchen and grabbing knives, stab, grab another knife, stab, grab another knife, stab, like probably like 6-7 times while she's just in the ground there, like bleeding to death. I was like, what?
He was busy racking up a 7-kill combo.
Exactly.
From the top of my head, the first scene interaction with Michael Myers and a cop. The cop sees him from a distance and he sees it's a suspect scenario, but the cop still draws his weapon, goes to shoot him 2 or 3 times, and displays some Star Wars level stormtrooper accuracy, completely missing the guy.
Yeah, because there was a couple of moments where it was like a flashback scene.
That just was the big crux of it, especially when they go to search the house and
this wasn't the only time either. This wasn't even the only time. There was a couple of moments where people just didn't know how to use a gun. There was even one guy at the bar, the black guy. He even admitted, "Oh, I never used a gun before. I don't know what to do."
It was like the town was run by people that had never done any form of growing up. It's portrayed in America. There would be so many people that would be armed to the teeth that would have had this scenario handled with walking ease. All the parents and stuff had gone into what was it called? Neighborhood Watch. Mm-hmm. And they just started doing some Scooby-Doo-esque split up gang, you know.
Exactly. This entire movie, yeah, they're like, "Oh, let's all like team up together, but let's still split up." I was like, I don't think that's the logic we're trying to go by. But there was one cool moment near the very end of the movie where they actually did have a mob, like kind of like surround Michael Myers. The Judy Greer character here essentially like drew Michael Myers out into the open. And then like pulling out his mask, so we kind of briefly saw what he looks like in the movie, all scratched up, bruised up, whatever. Drew him to the middle of the street. He picked up his mask, and then he gets surrounded, and then the whole mob like just starts beating him down. But what was even more epic was like after he got back up, like the music, of course, the music in this whole entire movie was fantastic. So like it was like a hype moment of like just him like killing off the entirety of that, to include Tommy, of that squad. It was like, wow, that was pretty epic.
All but one had only melee weapons.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I think maybe like 1 or 2 maybe had guns, and then the one guy that did have a gun like shot someone else, like. There's another scene happening in the hospital, and essentially because of that mob mentality that Tommy started, actually killed off one of the inmates, and he committed suicide. And that was a little moment there. It's like, yeah, we created monsters.
The guy that looks like Peter Pettigrew from
He wasn't even running
Harry
that fast,
Potter.
right?
Yeah.
And there was one funny moment where the crowd was going towards the camera, and then you see him in the background sneaking behind. It's like, what? In terms of the body count in this movie, a huge amount of kills for Michael Myers. My favorite, of course, is probably the Big John Little John one. That was probably my favorite death scene there. He's still alive. He's still out there. So the very final scene is essentially they think that he's dead after this whole mob was killed. And by the way, the mob thing that happened was literally across the street from his house. So and there was like cops there. There was an ambulance there, and like no one noticed him going up the stairs somehow, and basically stabbed and sliced open Judy Greer's character. And I think you were mentioning earlier with the mother, the Jamie Lee Curtis character.
Yeah, basically when Karen was getting killed, there was like a fade into the woman kind of staring into the abyss, almost having a Shining-esque moment where she can feel or sense that all is not over yet. Something terrible has just happened. You know, it feels like a knot.
I mean, we already know there's a third one coming. Halloween Ends is actually going to be the third movie on this trilogy. Technically, this movie, Halloween Kills, was supposed to come out last year, but I guess they didn't want to release it during the COVID year, I guess. So they released this movie this year, and then Halloween Ends is going to be released next year. So that will be kind of finish off the trilogy. And I'm pretty sure, because there was a little clue that Jamie Lee Curtis character says, essentially saying that if I was to die, I want to die while killing him, basically. So I think they're gonna like maybe potentially slice each other's throats off. I don't know, but I think that's what's probably gonna happen at the very end of the third movie. And I also like a lot of the deaths here. A lot of the characters, they kind of predicted their own deaths. Like Tommy, for example, says if I'm gonna die, I want to die swinging, and he literally died swinging.
That's true. Like say this Shining kind of sense of having that predictability to it does add a layer of cliche, but I think the way that Michael was able to take out certain people by using impromptu movements, like when the sexy nurse was walking towards him because he had just killed her boyfriend or whomever he was.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like basically what the scene was, basically the door slammed open. She was holding the gun like this, and she went and shot herself from the ricochet from that. I was like, wow, that is one way to die. Like that was a pretty epic kill too.
For a character that's supposed to be undead, to know to kick the door so that, you know, at that point, so it ends up doing her over. It was one of those smile moments. Like, hang on, this guy's got a bit of Morpheus in this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, like you say, if you go to the movie just going for just to kind of throw up your brain a little bit and just watch the movie, you'll probably enjoy it. Like this movie feels more of a comedy, but it has horror elements. I don't know. But it definitely was. If you take it too seriously, you're gonna hate it. So I guess we'll go into final ratings now. Since I'll start with Liam here because this is the first time he's been in a quick movie review here in Noneother.
First and foremost, as it's the first time for me viewing even the Michael Myers kind of Halloween-esque film series films, I came in at the right point, coming into it with a humorous kind of attitude. So I would definitely give that a good 8.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give 2 ratings. One for those that actually want a serious story and like a serious horror, and one that's like if you just go in with the idea of like, oh, it's not really that kind of movie. It's like it's meant for killing off stupid people, essentially. But the first rating, if you go in there with a serious mentality, you're probably going to give this movie like a 3 out of 10, realistically. But if you go to the movie like with the intention that, yeah, all the stupid people is going to die, and you want the stupid people to die, and how these people die, then you probably love it. So I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10. So slightly below Liam's score, but yeah, it's still pretty high up there for that rating in itself. So I don't know, guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about the movie. Obviously, we went through the I guess all the best kills of the entire franchise here. But there will be a third one. There will be a third one. Halloween Ends is actually what it's called. We'll see how this concludes, but this was definitely in the direction that, like, I would like it to go. A lot of people died. A lot of people died. So, but there's still some key characters that are still alive in the final movie here. That's pretty much it, guys. Let us know. Press a like and subscribe for more future content here from Noneother, and we'll see you next time. Just tell us out.
Peace.
And yeah, Liam out too. Yeah.